If you like using trips, trip 1 and trip 2 for longer journeys, you can see them here. You might choose trip 1 for your daily mileage and trip 2 for your total tour mileage. So you might have expected a plan to do, you know, X hundred miles or kilometers a day, and you just want to keep tabs on that. So you might use trip 1 might be your daily, and trip 2 your total tour mileage. If, like me, you're a forgetful old thing, I always set off in places and forget to set my trip 1 at the start of the day's riding, and I do like to know, you know, how much riding I've done. I don't use it that often, I suppose, but it's nice if you're doing a particular, you know, multi-day tour. So what you can do though, if you keep forgetting to reset your trip 1 before you set out, you can set it to auto. Say, look, if this bike is switched off for a certain length of time, reset my trip for me automatically. So each morning when you get up and get on your bike and get out your tent or your hotel or your B&B, wherever you're staying, your trip 1 or trip 2, whichever way you choose to do it, is reset automatically. And it's really simple. So I go to the menu, trip setup, and I'm going to choose trip 1 to be the one that resets daily. So trip 1, set it to automatic, and say, right, if the ignition's off for more than 8 hours, I want you to reset. So if you stop, you know, during the day, go for a walk around a city you've come across, or, you know, a place you're looking around, it won't reset it, because you'll be starting your bike up within that 8 hours. If you're not going to stop anywhere for, you know, the time is adjustable, but I mean, look, 8 hours seems a reasonable one to set it at. Set it at 8 hours. So now trip 1 now will, if the ignition doesn't go on for 8 hours in the morning, this trip 1 will be reset, and trip 2 will stay the same, because I leave trip 2 just in manual. In other words, don't reset it unless I specifically reset it. So that's all there is to resetting your daily trip 1 and trip 2. This won't be reset yet because the ignition hasn't been off for 8 hours, but in the morning that'll be 0, and I'll come back and film it then. So there we are, trip 1 all reset back to 0. Now if I go to trip 2, that's stayed where it is. So now I'm just going to reset trip 2 and hold the button. Gone. So that's cool.